Hey guys, it's SpeakBeazy. Today I'm going to be finally upgrading my PC. As we all know, I've needed it for so long. All of my parts are officially here. My brother's here. He's gonna be behind the scenes giving me a thumbs up, thumbs down if I'm doing things correctly. Because although I've helped build PCs before, I've never taken the reins on one. So this is gonna be a fun experience. And I'm going to add voiceovers and explaining what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what's happening, and we're just gonna figure this out together. This is my first edited full YouTube video, so wish me luck.
Okay, let's reveal this bad boy. Yes, I struggled to take the packaging off, but that's okay. It is a beautiful white color, clean slate, not much in it except for a few fans and some LED strips. It was donated to me by a subscriber, Raju. So shout out to him. Because it was a blank slate, I had to get some parts. So let's dive into what parts I put in. First up, we got my processor. This was my first AMD processor. Super exciting. New power supply, baby. Master liquid cooling system. The motherboard. 16 GBs of RAM. 2 terabytes of storage, Ms. Mama. So yeah, new tower, 6 new parts. The only thing I'm missing is a GPU. Let's get started. All right, unscrew, take the glass pane off. Then we're gonna go ahead and just feel around, slap the inside of it, make sure we don't have any electricity in our fingers. We're gonna be like a professional here, and we're gonna build on the motherboard outside of the case because that is apparently what you do if you're really good at this stuff. And I'm not, but I'm going to pretend like I am. So I opened up my motherboard, as you can see, very slowly, very carefully, because I am terrified of. I then take it out of the ESD safe bag, and again, very slowly, very carefully. And I'm gonna just put it back on top of it so we don't, lay it on anything it shouldn't be on. Let's add some RAM sticks, eh? First thing is to unclip those little sides there so you can properly insert the RAM. They're very fragile and it's kind of scary because you have to really force the RAM sticks in to clip in properly. Obviously, don't push too hard to where you're gonna break it, but you gotta get it in there, so don't be afraid. Now, I don't think there's a particular order to these things, but whatever. I decided to do the processor next because I wanted to. No other reason. So look at that. Ooh, shiny. Yes, AMD, baby. This is the Ryzen 5 from the 5000 series. Look at that fanciness. So you just gotta place it kind of carefully, but you do press it in there at the same time. This next part freaked me out a little bit because it looks like a syringe, but it's not that kind of syringe. So this is thermal paste. This is something necessary for every processor, and especially when you're attaching a cooling system, which I'm gonna do later. Honestly, I don't know all of the terminology or safety protocols or exactly anything, really, but I do know that thermal paste is 100% necessary. Luckily, my brother had some on hand because I didn't know that before this process. So there I am, painting the thermal paste on. Now, you don't want it to be all thick and gross, but you do want one nice solid layer of thermal paste. So it could take a bit of time to make it just right and smooth and precise, covering the processor completely. Okay, time for the Western Digital Black 2 terabyte SSD. I'm gonna unpackage it, as you see. And then there are actually 2 spots on this motherboard that I could have put it. I don't really know why. I don't have answers, guys. But I chose that first one that you're about to see me unscrew. Why I chose it, I don't know. While I do this SSD thing, I just want to remind everybody, I am not a professional. I don't know what I'm doing. I've always been around computers and have been around my brother's building computers, but this is the first time that I have really taken the driver's seat here. But I did have my brother lingering around, making sure I don't, die or break anything. So there were some safety precautions. Now here I put a little bit of pressure down on the SSD just to make it completely flat. And then I'm just going to screw it back into place. I did show that little kind of half moon crescent look of where the screw goes. So just put a little bit of pressure to get it down, but again, you don't want to break it. And then you unstick this top here, and I'm going to put it right back on top and then screw that into place. This part I kind of took time and wanted to be very careful because again, it is an adhesive. Once that was set into place, then you screw that in, and it's just 2 little screws. Super easy. Turn, 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 lock, 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 and we got it. Look at that. Wow, fancy. This is really the last part on the building of it, and now we're gonna actually insert it into the tower. This part, again, you want to be so careful with everything, so I was very gentle with placing it in and making sure it was placed correctly. You'll know and notice what part is supposed to be facing the back because that's the part that sticks out and has your aux ports, USB ports, etc. So this part did take me a little bit more time. As you see, I even cut a lot of it, but I just wanted to be certain that it was in the right place and is flush against that back part because you don't want it sticking out too far. Once I was completely certain that it was in the right place, I screwed it in. This part kind of took me a bit too because I think there was like 9 or 10 screws, and so I cut a lot of it, but yeah, I screwed it in place good. That's what she said. Okay, moving forward to the cooling system. So I've never actually seen one of these be put into a machine, so this was completely new for me. But I had to kind of build it on the outside first, and then you'll see that I put it on the inside, and then I connect everything. But once the fans were properly on the vent part, then you just screw that into place, which I cut and skipped, and you just see me securing it really. Took the top little thing off, I don't know what it's called, made sure everything was in place. I don't know what that hand gesture was. I apologize for it though. We are going to now insert right there where my hand is going through the cooling fan. So kind of cut that, edit it, but I screwed it into place once I knew it was set properly. And now I'm just tightening the screws, making sure that it is completely secure. Now I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of things that I cut out of this video because it was just me taking forever to screw in place, holding parts. This video could have been like easily 30 minutes long, and it was just unnecessary. This part I was actually too scared to do on my own, so I had my brother step in and do it for me. My hands just aren't the steadiest, and you can't just put this on and put it off and put it on because this is where the thermal paste is and it's still sticky and kind of wet. So you have to get it on just right and just so. So shout out to my brother for coming in and doing this part for me because I didn't want to do it. Maybe next time. This next part I just sped up instead of cutting it out because I was moving a lot of wires, but ultimately I am connecting that cooling system that you just saw us attach to the motherboard so that way they talk to each other. Last but not least, the power supply. I honestly feel like a phony. This was probably the worst. I had to have my brother step in a lot on this one. There are so many ports like you saw on the back of this power supply, and I had no clue where to start, what goes where. I was reading the instructions, super complicated. So this is basically everything pulled out and after my brother told me what goes where. So like most of this video, I don't really have an explanation for anything. This is not a tutorial, this is just a what I did. It's time to plug that baby in, turn it on, and see if you get light. That's really the best way to test it. Again, make sure you're with somebody that knows what they're doing because if I didn't have my brother, I would be freaking out. or clueless, honestly. But nonetheless, it worked. All the lights came on, everything was powering up. I was so excited that I did it properly for the first time ever. Couple just last mentions I want to do. Number one is, as you probably could tell, or maybe not, there's no footage of me moving my GPU. That's because I did it a few days after I had filmed the video, and I had to take it out of my old PC and put it into my new PC. So that's why. I apologize. It's not fancy. It's like a 970. I need a new graphics card, so let's not talk about it. Number two, once again, I am not a professional. I don't know a lot of technical terms and safety precautions, so please take this video as just me showing you my journey of doing this, and kind of a, hey, if she can do it, I can do it kind of thing. Don't take it as a step-by-step tutorial, because I'm the best at this, because I'm definitely not. Lastly, I just want to say that I appreciate all of you so much. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I genuinely could not have done any of this without you. My 1-year anniversary on Twitch is coming up, and it is because of all of you that I am doing this. It has been a ride, so much fun, so much love. I just can't say enough good things about this experience. So thank you all for coming along with me on this journey, and let's continue it. Let's keep going. We can keep doing it. We can keep fighting. Yeah, so we'll see what other videos I make in the future, but for now, here's my video. I built a PC with help from my sibling, but I still did it. I'm ending it. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate your support and love. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to see more footage. I cut so much out because it was just way too much. I really took my time wanting to do this correctly. So there's a lot of me slowing down, trying to figure it out, redoing things, screwing things like so slow. Yeah, there's a lot. So anyways, thank you. Love you all. And I will see you every Tuesday and Thursday per usual. Good night.